Let's get it.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
Are you ready? It's time!
Welcome back to another Tuesday night episode of Tech Q&A. We are in the building. I am Tech Coach Ralph. We are engineered to win. Let me go ahead and turn on. Actually, I'm going to turn it on after we get through our announcements, but I will turn on the call-in link in case anyone has any questions. The link to call in is in the description, as well as pinned through the top to the top of the chat. So if you have any, and it'll be dropped in the chat as well throughout the night. So if you have any questions, you want to call in, feel free to do so. Click on the link, call in. You do not have to be on camera either. So welcome. Tonight is Tuesday, September 3rd. Yes, we're in September already. September 3rd, 2024. It's almost that time. We're almost at 2025. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? How is everyone doing this amazing Tuesday night? So we're going to get into it. We are going to get to our agenda, and then we're going to get into questions. I have some great questions tonight. Would love to hear your thoughts and your opinions as well with these questions. But, we're going to do what we do. We are going to do what we do. And you know what? I forgot to set up the AI clone. Let me call in the clone, right? Let me call in the clone real quick. See if I can do it this way. How am I going to do the clone? We'll figure it out when the time comes. We'll figure it out. I have a different way I was thinking about doing that, but we'll figure it out. Anyways, let's get through our agenda and then let's get to it. We have Alexis in the building already. How you doing, Alexis? Good evening to you as well. Hopefully you're having a phenomenal day. Hopefully it's a phenomenal day. All right, let's get to our agenda and then let's get to our questions. We're not trying to be here for the entire night. We got work to do. All right. So let's jump into our agenda. So first and foremost, like I always love to do, I want to say a big shout out to the new subscribers, the old subscribers, those who've been with me for a while, those who watch from the clouds but still get a lot of value. I appreciate you all.
I appreciate you.
And a huge salute and shout out to the tech savages. So that includes my tech barbarians, the top tier in coaching, who put in that hard work every single day, every single night. They take no days off. Shout out to the tech prodigy, the technical explorers, everyone who signed up to the Patreon, even if it's for free. I appreciate you all. And shout out to those tech mercenaries, those YouTube members who support the channel to keep it going. You guys are absolutely amazing.
We the best.
And I'll be remiss if I did not mention, shout out to the bag chasers.
Money.
And of course, we can never, ever forget the tech pookies, headed up by the tech pookie CEO himself, my guy, Yakar. And with that being said, if you haven't done so already, do me a big favor. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live and drop new content. And if you haven't done so already, go over to techcoachralph.dev, sign up for free. You'll be getting access to our sprint reviews that we upload every other week, because that's our cadence. That is our cadence. So there will be one uploaded probably on Sunday or Monday morning so that you can follow along, so that you can see the work that we do with the tech barbarians, get some experience. And then you can even join as well. You can even join a tier where you can be a tech barbarian yourself. You can get access to exclusive content, get one-on-one coaching, all of that good stuff. You better ask about me and the tech barbarians, because we are putting in that work. There is no one like us. All right. So that is that. If you need anything, techcoachralph.dev, that is where you can catch me, and we will put in that work. Like I said, there are no days off. All we do is run it up. All right. So let's get into some housekeeping real quick. We're going to go over our live show schedule as well as our pre-recorded content. So what is our live show? We have Sunday afternoons, software explorations. We are currently working our way through our DevOps course, so we can be very well versed with DevOps. We've been working on Docker. We're going to be doing a microservices deployment maybe this coming Sunday, possibly. And then we're going to get into Kubernetes, all that good stuff, right? And you can, I'm telling you, ask my tech barbarians, like when they're looking for jobs, they see jobs about using Docker and CI/CD and stuff like that. Things that they never learned of. But wait, we are learning them now. I am creating a league of tech killers. Like we have no mercy. We want it all. We want it all. All right. Tuesday nights we have our Q&A. Like tonight we have Q&A session. You call in. You can ask me a question in the chat. I find questions, whatever the case may be, however you want to do it. That's how we're going to get it done. All right. And with that being said, I'm going to turn on the link right now. I'm going to turn on the link right now so that if anyone has a question, feel free to call in. Let's have a conversation. Where's my link? Where is my link? Let me see. Let's put it right here. There we go. So the call-in link is open in case anybody wants to call in, but let's keep going with our agenda. So we have Thursday nights. We have our software explorations. This coming Thursday, we are going to be we're going to use React to create a dictionary app because I was tired of having my ghetto Google Doc that had our economic information, our economic urban dictionary. So we're going to make a real React app so that we can use that during our Saturday morning shows, right? So then, which leads us into our Saturday morning shows. We have the Men Lie, Women Lie, Numbers Manipulate show. And that's where we review the weekly economic numbers, the weekly economic data to see what in the world is going on. Are they lying to us? Are the numbers correct? Tune in on Saturday mornings. We shall figure that out together. And then we also have our morning shows Mondays and Wednesdays. We start between 7:15 to 7:45, where we have our Coffee and Kata show. We review some news stories, and then we go into mobile development, working on our mobile app, getting all the things done because we don't miss. All right. But wait, there's more. Yes, there is more. We have pre-recorded content as well. We have Mondays Candid Conversations, right? Yesterday I spoke about getting it done, right? Get things done, prioritize and execute. If you haven't seen that, it's a must watch. So I highly recommend you go back and watch that from yesterday. Really, really good stuff. Wednesdays, we have software explorations. Concepts and overviews. We're going to be talking about Kubernetes tomorrow. Right. It just goes along with DevOps, with the topic that we've been talking about. They're very, very important. I would highly recommend you tune into that. I just finished recording and editing it, going to be scheduling it right after the show. And then Fridays, we have the Bug Bite, where we are reviewing different industry related bugs or just cybersecurity type stuff, things of that nature. This coming Friday, we're going to be talking about how a cybersecurity researcher doxed a major hacker. So you definitely want to tune in. And then throughout the week, we have shorts as well as clips from our Q&A show that we make it in small bite-sized digestible pieces. So you can tune in and see, get them in small pieces. Sometimes you can't sit for a whole 2-hour live stream and hang out with us because you're busy. You are busy. I make it easy for you to catch on. All right. So join us. All right. With that being said, do me a big favor. Like if you haven't done so already, after you heard all of that, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live. Check out techcoachralph.dev, sign up over there, get free content, get tiered content, get one-on-one coaching, all of that good stuff. All right. Alrighty then. So let me give a quick update on remember the email I told you about that I got from my dear friend in the Netherlands, my brand new friend who is in QA, and they have so many different roles. I spoke about it last week, right? But after I sent them the email, I shared that with you last week, they emailed me back yesterday, and guess what they said? You wouldn't believe it, right? This is what they said. They said, "Thank you for getting back to me and sharing your tips. To be honest, it didn't occur to me that I could automate my work applications outside of work hours." And that a lot of people, you'd think, right? Like, honestly, nobody thinks about that. Even me. I didn't think about that until I'm like, why don't I just do the stuff that I wanted to do? I log in remotely from home. Like after I get there and I get to practice the things that are important to me, right? Like at least practice with real stuff, So trust me, you are not alone, my dear friend from the Netherlands. All right. Says, I will definitely, and it makes more sense indeed, as the dummy websites are relatively easy. Our application is not that easy. Don't threaten me with a good time. I will definitely do this. says pushing towards including automation in the acceptance criteria of the stories is also a good idea, as now automation feels like a nice extra. It's a nice to have, which it should not be. Like, but it will save me. It will save me time in manual regression checks and will provide the developers with early feedback as well. Thanks again. No, thank you for reaching out to me and asking me your question, because that meant a lot to me. That meant the world. You know what?
I appreciate you.
My dear friend in the Netherlands, shout out to you. You are absolutely amazing. All right. So we're going to jump into it, but let's see what we have in the chat. We have Alexis saying, I see Kubernetes everywhere. Was wondering about that. Well, my dear friend Alexis, guess what? Tomorrow, noon Eastern time, we are going to be talking about Kubernetes. You do not want to miss it, all right? And I'll be in the chat with you, so I will see you there. All right, so let's get into the show. Why not? Let's get into the show, all right? So the call-in link is open. If anyone wants to call in, you are free to get that there. Let me see. Boom. If anyone wants to call in, you are free to call in, hit the link. We can have a conversation. But with that being said, let's get into our first call of the night, all right? So, or our first question of the night. Let's get to it. So the way that we're going to do this. Oh, wait. Ooh. Oh man. See, I have my wrong notes up here. All right. I stop the show. All right. I have to issue an apology. In these notes that I'm using, I didn't have the notes that I have to always, I'm at it right now. All right. Let's put always mention Mitch and your car. All right, got it. Okay, so let's rewind. Let's rewind real quick. All right, Saturday mornings, our live shows. Saturday mornings, we have the Men Lie, Women Lie, Numbers Manipulate show. And that's where we review the weekly economic numbers, the weekly economic data to see are things on the up and up. And that show is co-hosted from the chat by my dear friend and stepbrother, Mitch, and my good friend, the Tech Pookie CEO himself, Yakar. See, I got you, Mitch. I got you. That's on me. I didn't have it in these notes, but this is on me. I'm just the face of Saturday mornings, right? Saturday mornings belong to Mitch and Yakar, right? Please accept my sincerest apologies, Mitch. That was not intentional. Some other times they might be intentional, but this time it was truly my fault. I apologize. Please forgive me. All right. I'm even gonna play this for myself.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
That's on me, Mitch. That is on me. But Mitch, question, Mitch. Did you see the updated intro, right? I'm just gonna play for you just so you can see it, right? That's enough. Did you see it, Mitch? Did you see it? I don't know. Let me know if you saw it. But please accept my apology, Mitch. Please accept my apology. All right. Now let's get into the show. Thank you for calling that out, Mitch. Thank you for keeping me accountable. I appreciate it, Mitch. I really appreciate it. All right. You know what? I need to summon up the bot. Let me summon the bot. Let me see if I can do it like this. All right. Let me see if I can do it like this. We're gonna do this together real quick. Let's go to. You notice that? I kind of noticed that. See, I'm like, oh man, I knew you were gonna say something about that. It didn't work out as I expected it to work out. So I'm gonna have to do a V3. But I'm getting closer. It's getting closer. All right. It is getting closer. So just bear with me. Just bear with me, Mitch. Just bear with me. All right. Let me say chat AI clone. And let me see if I can. All right. Ah, thank you. I was just talking to myself. I was over here working on this thing, not even paying attention to my mic. All right, here we go. We are good to go. Let's see. All right, cool. All right, let's get to it. Let's get to it. So let me add a border on this and all right, we're good to go. Cool. So let's get to our first question of the night. All righty then. So 5 minutes per question. We are going to let's get it.
Another one.
So this question is about a 2-month resignation notice. So it says, boss wants a 2-month notice of leave. My new job starts in 3 weeks. I got a very attractive job offer and the start date is 3 weeks from today. I talked to my supervisor and he tried to get me to stay. I rejected all his ideas because this new offer is just much better for me. He then suggested I stay for another 2 months to ease the transition. I thought this was a little extreme. They've been a good employer, but I don't feel like I owe them anything. Yeah. It might be difficult for my current employer to manage all my tasks, but not too bad. I could talk to my new company about that, but I kind of just want to move on. Any suggestions on how to handle this? So let's start our timer. Well, I never really like 2-week notices, let alone a 2-month notice. But why do I not like 2-week notices, right? Because a lot of times when they are laying you off or firing you or whatever, they don't give you any notice on their end. They're just like, well, your services are no longer needed here. Right. And they're like, well, out you go. And that's a tough situation to be in. That is a tough situation to be in. But when you're leaving, they're like, they want you to bend over backwards so that you can help with them. Right. There's no love lost. At the end of the day, it's just business. The same way you have to decide to do what's in your best interest, they're always going to do what's in their best interest as well. There's no loyalty. There's none of that. Right? Because at the end, if the bottom line hits rock bottom, then you'll be let go. Just is what it is. So that's why I am not of the opinion of like, well, do I do 2 weeks? Of course, because I want to be professional and stuff like that. But a 2-month notice, especially when you have another position waiting for you, what sense does that make? What sense does that make that you're going to delay going to a better position where you're probably going to be making a lot more money in order to stay there and pretty much be miserable maybe? And then they're always going to be looking at you with the side eye, like, that he's leaving us. I'm telling you, when I've left companies before in the past, it was hard enough to leave for 2 weeks. It was hard enough to for 2 weeks notice, because then it's like every single day they're like, oh, what if we do this? And I remember I was leaving this one job. I talked to almost every single C-suite executive about, can we do this? Can we do that? What can we do to get you to stay? And I'm like, I'm kind of checked out at this point, right? So number one, you're not obligated to the same way that you're out of there, on their end, you can be out of there on your end as well. So that's my thoughts on it. Like I'm not a big, I really don't like the whole 2-week notice itself, but it's the professional thing to do. But once they start asking you can you stay on for longer? I'm like, sorry, I can't do that. Because what are you going to get from it? What's it to you? Why are you delaying your future and your prosperity for it's at the end of the day, it's just business. We have to be 100% business minded all the time. See, and that's why I believe in the mindset of treating yourself like a business. You are a business. You know, I would make the reference to I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman, but I don't want Mitch to start rapping in the chat. I don't want Mitch to start rapping in the chat because that is his greatest rapper of all time, and I don't want to cause I don't want to cause no beef, right? He already threatened me to leave already. I'm like, we're not doing that. But honestly though, you have to see yourself as a business. Your life is a business. From the day that you're born to the day that you leave the earth, your life is a business. Treat it as such. The same way companies are looking at their EBITDA and their ROI and their all that good stuff, you need to do the same thing. What's your ROI if you stay for an additional 2 months? Are they giving you a pay raise to stay? Are they going to give you more money to stay? Are they making it worth your while? Or are you delaying what's ahead waiting for you? Are you delaying a promotion by 2 months? What are you blocking from holding on to the past, trying to be kind and nice? It's just business. It is just business 100,000%. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. Mitch, am I off? Alexis, am I off on this one? Am I off? But with that being said, I think we are done with our very first question of the night. All right, let's see what the people have to say about this. Am I off on this one? Am I off? All right, let's see. So, Mitch says, how many subs you getting a day about? Depends. Sometimes it might be like 5. Some like on real good days it might be 10. Sometimes it might be 2. Who knows? I just show up. I just show up to work. I just show up to work. That's the only thing on my mind, Mitch. I just show up to work. It says, so if you give a 1-day notice, but you need again, possibly, will they hire you back? Probably not, unless they can't live without you. But the question is, Mitch, if you give a 1-day notice, is that somewhere that you really wanted to go back to? That's my question. That is my question.
Bruh.
If you give a 1-day notice, would you really want to go back there anyways? Mitch says, my old job, I had to give 3-week notice to get all of my PTO. That's how they do you too sometimes. What? So if you're not using your PTO, they didn't cash it out for you? Or wait, what did they do? Like, did they say in order to get your PTO, you have to give a 3-week notice? Was that in their policy when you joined? Or was it like they wouldn't pay you out your PTO, so they said you just have to stay for 3 weeks? How did that work? I'm curious. But I know they'd be a little shady sometimes, because you looked like Cuba when you did that side eye. The side eye. They'll give you the side eye. If you stay, they'll give you the side eye. Like, hey, what? Why are you really leaving? There's no place like here. And we're like, are you serious? What is this, Wonderland? And he says, I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman. Let me handle my businessman. Okay, shout out to Rich. All right, and yes, please, not Cuba, not Cuba. I meant to say how many we getting is definitely more than 10. Hey, we work over here. All we do is work. All we do is work.
We the best.
It was in the policy. Okay. So if you don't stay for the 3 weeks and you don't get your PTO, I mean, that's fair. That's fair, because as long as you know up front. But it's like for them to just say, there's no one like you. Can you stay for another 2 months? Like, how about if you had paid me like there was no one like me and you needed me to stay for 2 months plus, right? How about you paid me as such? So, but that was years ago. If you didn't put in 3 weeks, you wouldn't get all your PTO money, and everyone didn't know that. Luckily, I was cool with the HR lady. So, did you end up staying for 3 weeks, or how did that happen? Did you end up staying for 3 weeks, and then or the HR lady told you stayed for 3 weeks, and then you got your money, or was it like she's like, don't worry about it, I got you. You want to be gone in 2 weeks? I got you. I got you. And Alexa says, I agree with you 1,000%. Nothing personal, just business. They do what's best for them. You got to do what's best for you. You guys want to know how I learned that lesson? So when I was leaving like one of the first companies that I was working for, right? And I was leaving one of the companies I was working for, and it was around the same time that Dwayne Wade. That's when like I was really into basketball, and I was really into Miami Heat and Dwayne Wade and stuff like that. And that's when he had left Miami to go to Chicago. Yep. What was the term that they used in the Little Rascals? I forgot the name. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see. I can't find it. Anyways. So, but yeah, I was like, you know what? It's just business. The same way that Miami and Dwayne Wade weren't loyal to each other. I was like, what is this? Like, why stay with this company who is not going in the right direction? Let me go out there and just do me. I'm like, you just do you. I'ma do me. And lastly, Mitch says, yeah, I stayed for the 3 weeks. Well, a vacation the third week. Hey, you did what you had to do. I would have went in and worked because I want all my money. I want all the bags. All right. I'm just saying. I would have just stayed and worked and got it paid off in cash. I want cash. I want cash. All right. So you remember the movie How High? I need money. All right. Let's get to our second question of the night. And by all means, if you want to call in, hit the link in the chat. Call in. You can have a conversation with me one-on-one. I will be happy to answer your question, and you don't have to be on camera. It says, so I only did 2 weeks. Technically, the company I went to, I was servicing the company I left. Luckily, they didn't play your boy. Could have been a conflict of interest. That's what those non-compete agreements happen, right? So you gotta always be careful with that. You always gotta be careful with that. It says, I didn't watch How High. I don't partake in that. That was a hilarious movie. That movie was very, very funny, I must say. Oh my God. I was about to get to the next question, but we gotta stop the show. We got my guy Darcel in the building. Good evening, Darcel. How are you doing tonight? So happy to have you with us.
I appreciate
I haven't spoken to Darcel in a while. Yep, Mitch, you're right. You know, he'll get missing for about 2 to 3 months, and they'll just pop in like, "Hey, good evening," and then we're like, "Hey, Darcel, how's it going?" He's like, "Oh, I'm doing good," and then all of a sudden, gone. He's like Nicolas Cage in Gone in the movie Gone in 60 Seconds. You know, he's like, now you see me. He's like was it Talladega Nights? Where he's like, now you see me, like the Magic Man. Remember the Magic Man? Now you see me, now you don't. Shout out to Darcel. All right, for real this time. Let's get to our second question of the night. You guys ready? Let's go.
Another one.
Getting by with low-paying jobs, career as an adult. I'm in. So let's try to figure this one out. So I might have to call in the clone for this one. All right, we might have to call in the clone for this one. So let's see what's going to go on. Let's read this, and then we'll see if we need to employ the clone's help on this. All right. So it says, how are adults with low-paying jobs / careers able to get by? I mean, absolutely no disrespect. And usually when they say, I mean, no disrespect, there's a lot of disrespect about to follow. But, you know, it's like when they say with all due respect, then you can say whatever you feel like saying. That's what I feel is about to happen, right? But let's read it together. I mean, absolutely no disrespect to anyone by this question. I'm genuinely asking because I'm questioning my own job and possibly looking for a change. I have an average paying job, but it is stressful. Recently, I went on vacation with my family and noticed that there were many middle-aged adults working at this theme park slash gift shop. I get it. It could be teachers working a part-time job in the summer and are okay with making $12 an hour. Get behind me, Satan. If they're only doing it for 2 months out of the year, but there are probably a lot of adults with similar jobs, and that's their only source of income. And I wonder how they're able to support a family. I'm asking because I am willing to get a lower paying job for less stress, but my wife and I are having a hard time getting by as is. Wow, he's married too, all right? And believe me when I tell you, my wife and I are not materialistic people. I mean, you seems like you can't afford to be materialistic. So it's not like we aren't being smart with our money. We just don't have a lot extra after the bills are paid. So one response real quick to this, like before I get into my response, and I'm gonna call an AI for this. I'm gonna call in the clone, right? But one response that I had to this one, right, or one response that I read on this one was, someone said, "For me, it's living with my mother at the age of 31." Yep. So let's ask AI, right? We're gonna phone a friend. We are gonna phone a friend because I'm curious to see what AI thinks about this. What my clone thinks, right? So, what in the world? Oh, we're here. Cool. Okay, so let's do this. We're gonna do it like this, right? We're gonna call in the clone. Where are you? Let's see what happens here.
Hi, I'm Tech Coach Ralph. How can I help?
Hey, Tech Coach Ralph. I have someone asking me about how are adults able to make it by in this economy with low paying jobs or careers. What are your thoughts?
That's a tough one. Many adults are navigating this by taking on multiple jobs or side gigs to supplement their income. Others are focusing on upskilling or reskilling to move into higher paying tech roles. The gig economy and remote work opportunities have also provided some flexibility. It's all about leveraging every available resource and staying adaptable. What specific challenges or questions do you have about this topic?
Well, what should somebody do? Like this person is married. They claim that they're not really materialistic, but they say they are flat broke. What are their options?
First, they need to assess their skills and see where they can upskill or reskill to move into higher paying roles. Many companies offer resources for further education or certifications. They should take advantage of that. Another option is to explore side gigs or freelance work that leverages their existing skills. For instance, tutoring, consulting, or even gig economy jobs can provide additional income without a huge time investment. Lastly, they should look into budgeting and financial planning. Sometimes a detailed look at expenses can reveal areas to cut back and save. What specific skills or interests does this person have? That can help tailor the advice further. That's a tricky one. I wouldn't outright advise someone to become an exotic dancer. It's important to consider the long term implications and personal values. There are many ways to earn additional income that might align better with one's career goals and personal growth. Upskilling or reskilling, for example, can open doors to higher paying roles in tech or other fields. It's crucial to think about the future and how your choices today will impact your life down the road. What are their skills and interests? Maybe we can find a more sustainable and fulfilling path for them.
Thanks. All right, cool. Appreciate it. So I was muted on the streaming app, but I asked the AI if it would ever suggest someone becoming an exotic dancer, and it said no, it's not recommended. It says do something better. So just making sure that AI was not going to lead them down the wrong path. So yeah. My take on this is, how are most adults getting by with low paying jobs? My take is they're not really getting by. They are like, because why are they not getting by? Because they are putting everything on credit cards. They are doing Klarna and Afterpay over and over and over again, and it is just not sustainable whatsoever. So, and it's just going to catch up with you. Like, they're going into debt all over, and it is not and it's just like they're not getting by. Like, define getting by. You know, a lot of times people need to lower their expenses, lower their lifestyle, but they also need to get a useful skill. You know, they need to get a useful skill, and they need to capitalize on that skill. They need to, you know, a lot of times people they get into college debt and stuff like that, and they want other people to pay off their college debt because they did not choose a career choice that was going to be helpful and lucrative. So we end up in these situations. So I don't think a lot of people are getting by because I would say 99.9% of the times, the reasons that people are not able to get by with low paying jobs or careers is because they made poor decisions early on, and then they hold on to those poor decisions, hoping that things will change, but not actually doing anything for it to change. So there's so many, like there are 1,000 times more resources available today than there was 20, 30, 40 years ago. Wait, we're in 2024. I take that back. I had the internet 20 years ago. Not as good as it is now, but I had the internet. And you know what I was doing? You know what I was doing 20 years ago on the internet? I was let's go to full screen. I was looking for music to download on Kazaa and Napster and stuff like that. Imagine the resources that were there then. Imagine the resources that are here now. I don't believe anyone has an excuse. Like, we can all do better. All right? With that being said, let's wrap that question up. All right, let's see what the chat has to say. Let's see what the chat has to say about this. Let me see. So Darcel says, all right, let me play this one first. All right. Shake and bake. Always shaking and baking. And Darcel says, listen, I'm trying to get my life together. The consistency will be back soon. Darcel, I always appreciate when you stop by. It's like, oh wow, Darcel, just let me know one thing, Darcel. Are you doing good? That's all I want to know. If you're doing good, then I might as well just stop the show right now, because that's what I want to know, right? Let me see. We got Endless Learner in the building. How are you doing today, Endless Learner? Did you stop learning, Endless Learner? Because if you stopped learning, then we're gonna have to change the name. All right. Shout out to Endless Learner. Mitch said, my first job gave me motivation. I was in the same situation. I was 14 though. You weren't even an adult. So your first job at 14 gave you the motivation to do better. Imagine that. Those older people gave. So you're saying when you at 14 you saw the people who were like 44 doing the same job that you were doing. You're like, what? That is not going to be me. Mitch was like, I am not going to be saying
I'm in a bind, Nate.
Nope. Nate. Mitch is like, I will never ever know somebody named Nate, and I will certainly not tell Nate that I am in a bind, right? It's like I don't even want to know a Nate. I don't want to know a Nate, all right? I hear you, Mitch. I hear you, Mitch.
We the best.
All right. Let me see. Mitch says is he living with his family, or is his family living with him? Sounds like it's him and his wife. It sounds like it's him and his wife. I don't know if they have any kids, but here's the thing, right? So, Mitch, you heard that the travel over this past Labor Day weekend was all the way up, right? It was up. That means, and this person said like they went on vacation and stuff like that. How are people able to afford going on vacation when they have no money? Make that make sense.
Bruh.
I don't get it. For me, when I don't have money, I'm not happy. When I don't have money, I mean, I'm very happy when I do have money. So what does that say about me, right? But if my pockets are empty, I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to go anywhere. That's just me. That's just me. So I'm like, if all the people say the economy is their top priority, the economy is so bad, but they are still going on vacation, make that make sense. I don't get it. It says it could be true if they have a low paying job. Well, they do have a low paying job. But you know me, like, you know what I say. So yes, I had asked if the clone would ever recommend becoming an exotic dancer, and it said no. And Alexa says, wait, what? Where'd that come from? I just wanted to know. All right, Alexis. You act like you're not from South Florida. You don't like you don't know what goes on down here. You know what goes on down here. I'm just saying. It says, here we go again. Here we go. Me versus. Wait, we don't. There is no need for that. I am Team Mitch today. I took to heart all the threats you made over the past couple of days, Mitch, and I was like, we're not. I'm not fighting you. It says, what do you do if you making $10 to $20 an hour as an adult, 30 to 40K? Well, I ask myself, why am I making $10 to $20 an hour? What mistakes did I make between 20 to 30? And I'm like, all right, how can I fix that? And I go learn something, and I go apply myself, Smokey, and I say, okay, what's gonna bring me the bag, right? What's gonna bring me the bag? Let me learn it. Let me get with a group of people who are heading in the same direction that I'm heading in, and I am going to make do with that. I am not gonna make excuses. I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, you know what? What else do I do? I lower my lifestyle. I get like 10 roommates, and we're gonna get bunk beds. Like I do exactly what they did in Step Brothers, right? They moved in with the step parents, and then they got the bunk beds, and so we would be straight living like we were in a what do you call it? In a what do you call it? Like where they like the school where they send you away. I forgot the name. Boarding school. I'm like, we're like, it's gonna be 10 of us as roommates. We're gonna have we're gonna have bunk beds, and we're going to save up all our money, and we're gonna learn something, and we are not going to be broke forever. I'm not gonna be going and like, what do broke people do to get by? They become unbroke. See, I just made up a word. They become unbroke. And Mitch says that I'm old because I was using the internet 20 years ago in 2004. Well, Mitch, if I'm old, you are old too. All right. And Mitch says that was trash. I tried. And Darcy says that he's amazing. Awesome. That's what I wanted to know. And Innisturn says, I'm good. How's it going? I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. And it says, nope, he is still learning, actually studying right now. That's what I'm talking about. Keep on putting in that work.
Bruh.
See, Mitch, if I was making $10 to $20 an hour and I was between the ages of 30 and 40, I would be doing what people who are not broke do. I would be doing what this learner who is not broke does. I would be studying right now. You see, there goes your solution right there. Your solution right there is to study and learn something that is going to continue to elevate you. Just do what people who are unbroke do, right? Do what people who are unbroke do. That's a simple solution, right? It says no, the 31-year-old. Oh, I don't know. That was just a response that somebody gave. It said I'm 31 living with my parents. So, I heard that, but is that true? And it says your girl said we should be thanking the union. Well, I'll go with the.
Thank you for your patronage.
But guess what? Guess what though, Mitch? She's also going to send those union jobs over to all those other countries. Right? So you let them mess around and find out. And then they're gonna be like,
How dare you?
and she's gonna be like, but I got your vote. Was that a good impersonation? I don't know. Anyways, sometimes it's not a mistake though. That's all you know. So what is it? Boarding school. Yep, that's what I thought. Boarding school. And it says you need money, no time to study. There are 24 hours. So why? So Mitch, here's a question. How do people find time to watch sports on TV? How do they find time to? Who are the people at the barbershops all day on Saturday arguing about God knows what? Who are the people who are at the hair salon for like 6 hours a day, paying like $250 to $500 getting their hair done and stuff like that? But they have no time. Make that make sense. I got a wife and 4 kids. And congratulations, by the way, Mitch. Congratulations. Mitch finally settled down. I don't know how you got 4 kids that quickly, but congratulations, Mitch. All right? Shout out to Mitch. As I saw when she said that about the collard greens too. Hey, you know what? Sometimes you're so hungry that you just have to eat your greens in the tub. I'm just saying. I gotta agree with that. You got me. What part did you even agree with? I don't even know what I said. I've just been talking. Anyways, let me do that. Let me do the accent. Can I do the accent? Can I do the accent? So, sometimes I just be talking. Sometimes, So, please forgive me while I just be talking. All right. I just be talking sometimes. All right. So anyways, says eating from the tub is crazy. Oh my God. I'm silly. Oh, that's good. Let's see. All right. Give me 1 second. I gotta go check something out real quick. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I had to get the AC right. The AC was acting crazy. All right. Alexa says, whose accent was that? I don't. It's definitely not her accent because she doesn't know whose accent she uses. So I'm just saying. All right, let's get to the next. I'm tripping. I am tripping. Let's get to the next question. Right. Let's get to our next one for tonight.
Another one.
Says, what really is DevOps? So this one says, after a decade in DevOps world as a principal DevOps engineer, I find myself reflecting on the question, what is DevOps? We all have our own definitions and experiences, but I'm curious to hear what others in the community view it. For me, DevOps has always been more than just a set of tools and processes. It's fundamentally about culture. It's about breaking down silos, fostering a collaborative environment between development and operations, and driving a mindset of continuous improvement, automation, and shared responsibility. But I also feel like over the years, the term has morphed into a catch-all for various practices and tools, sometimes straying from its cultural roots. I'd love to hear your perspective. How do you define DevOps? What does it mean to you in your day-to-day work? Do you still see culture? Do you still see culture as the core of DevOps, or has it evolved into something else in your experience? All right. So that's a great question. Great question. And we're gonna start our clock. So for me, I don't, because I guess me coming from like not being a in the DevOps field completely, I'm more of a DevOps adjacent person. So I've been doing like using DevOps tools and being deploying and stuff like that for almost 10 years now. Right. And honestly, like for me, I guess DevOps, a big part of DevOps is getting it done. Like how do we get the things done that we need to get done, right? And what tools do we bring into our processes to bridge the development aspect of it and the operations aspect of it, so that we're not wasting time, and we just have a smooth process, right? So I know people who became DevOps engineers are going to see it one way, but I think people who might not be the traditional DevOps engineers and stuff like that, like people who are more of a software engineering perspective, who are more of a QA perspective, and cloud infrastructure perspective, where DevOps brings all those together. We're like, all right, what do we need to do to get our process to work? I think DevOps is more on the side of people who might be setting up the infrastructure for all the other teams to use. So that's my take on it of what DevOps really is. And I think the key thing about this, all right, you can't really define it per se, because the culture of DevOps, which I agree with what the person asking the question said, but the culture of DevOps is that things are always going to be shifting based on the needs and the time. So like when I first started using Docker, when I like there was like the course that I had, there was not really much. It was more of a conceptual thing, right? But then when I go back to that same course now, because with Udemy, like you have the course forever. So when I went back to the course, there's so much more information in that course because there's so much more knowledge on DevOps. There were no DevOps courses at the time, like 10 years ago. Almost 10 years, there were no DevOps courses. Now, if you see us on the Sunday live stream, we're doing so many different things with DevOps, left, right, like so many things. Like, Alexis, correct me if I'm wrong. In your 2 weeks of using DevOps, you've been able to do so many different things with it, like starting up whole applications and things of that nature, right? And that's the point that I'm making. Everyone gets to participate in DevOps, but I think the development and operation side of things is only as good as the culture is set and the leaders in that section. So being confident in what you're talking about, as well as putting the tools and the process in place. I think nowadays, like especially like if somebody who's a principal DevOps engineer, being able to do the research, being able to give the right recommendations for how we're going to go forward as a company, as an organization, right? A lot of times, like in the team that I'm in, we want to use a particular tool or application or infrastructure, but the team that's responsible for most of the DevOps, most of the DevOps of the company, they're like, okay, this is probably not the best route to go with this. This is what we've set up. This is our microservices template that all teams should be using. So they set up that culture. They foster that environment, and they are the pioneers on the best ways that we should be the best ways and the best tools that we should be using to have a successful working environment at the company. So to me, that's what I see as DevOps, right? It's coming from a outsider who's like DevOps adjacent, right? I mean, I know about Terraform, I know about Docker. We're going to be getting into Kubernetes. I've heard about Packer. I've heard about Ansible. Like I knew people who were using Ansible like 12 years ago, right? So I'm familiar with all these tools and concepts, but seeing how they all come together, I think the primary, like one of the primary roles of DevOps is to bring in a cohesive working environment so that things can run smoothly. I understand the culture part of it, right? But it's how can you make the things run smoothly, right? And Mitch says, and I'll just address this before we wrap this question up, right? Mitch says, let me take this off the screen. Mitch says DevOps isn't as popular as it used to be, which I agree with that, right? But I would say DevOps itself still lives, but the role of that DevOps engineer is not necessarily as popular. And as Mitch says, popular might not be the right. I understand what you're saying though. I don't like. I think that the DevOps engineers they're going to be in certain industries. Like to me, I would say in more regulated industries where there's like that heavy separation of duties. But nowadays, the whole DevOps concept is passed along heavily through the whole organization, right? Everyone becomes responsible for DevOps, which might lessen that whole DevOps engineer role. But it depends on the industry because like I said, probably in like a pharma or banking industry, the DevOps engineer role is going to be a lot more prevalent because there's a lot, it's highly regulated. So they might need a separation of duties as well. So it just depends. But I do agree with what Mitch said. All right. So let's wrap that question up. All right. Let me check the chat real quick. Do me a favor, if you haven't done so already, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live, and go over to techcoachralph.dev. Sign up today, get access to our sprint reviews as well as one-on-one coaching because we are going to run it up together. All right. So there we go. All right. Let's see what we got in the chat. So let me see. Oh, the barbershop and the hair salon. I'm telling you, like they have the money for that, they have the time for that. But you know, but it's hard out here. I'm like, really? Because Mitch, what do we do Saturday mornings? We are like Saturday mornings, Sunday afternoons, Monday mornings, early Monday mornings, Tuesday nights, early Wednesday mornings, Thursday nights, Sunday afternoon. Like we're always working. We are always working. And if I had to go to a barbershop and stuff like that to get my haircut or whatever, you best believe I am taking my laptop with me. I'm going to be editing videos. Like my laptop is like 9 times out of 10 times it is a arm's reach away from me. That like because we're like winners win, right? Winners win. That's all I'm saying. Like if you like if I had to go to the barbershop and I'm trying to learn something, I'm gonna have my laptop with me. I'm gonna have my phone with me. I'm gonna be listening to the course. I'm gonna be doing whatever I need to do to win. Right? It's my mentality. That's my mentality. Right? And it says eating from the tub. It's crazy. It is a little crazy. It is a little crazy. Let me see what else we got. So where is it? I told my mom you disrespected her too, saying she washed screens in the tub. Hey, I don't want no problems, no smoke with Mama Mitch. All right, I do not want no problems. Mitch, tell your mom that I am very, very appreciative of her, that she has such a wonderful son that hangs with me all the time. All right, that's just wrong. It was just a question, Mitch. It was just a question. Mitch trying to have everybody turn against me. Mitch is trying to have everybody turn against me. And Alexa says, I am so much more knowledgeable in DevOps in 2 weeks. Okay. I'm telling you, like we get things done. We get things done. All right. So let's see. Mitch says DevOps. Yep, we read that one already. DevOps is not as popular. I agree with pharma. Yep. I think those regulated industries, like, and the thing is with those, they pay more money because they don't want to lose you. Those pharma, banking, what other regulated, like whatever regulated industry, they're gonna pay more money because like that it costs so much to lose you, right? It's even like imagine if you have like one of those if you're in the DMV area and you have one of those clearance jobs, like you have a clearance to get one of those jobs. Oh my God, you're going straight to the moon right there. You're gonna go on the SpaceX flight. You're gonna rise so fast. You're gonna go on the SpaceX flight to rescue those 2 astronauts in outer space. I'm just saying. All right. It says all jokes aside, you ever notice it's the people that doing okay, good are the ones that are still learning. That is 100% true. I'm telling you, like I had this conversation a few years ago, where it's like, how much is enough? I'm like, enough of what? They're like, well, if I had this much, then I'd be enough. I'm like, no, because if I had X amount, and then as soon as it goes down by $1, I'm like, okay, now that's not enough. It's not enough. So I'm like, if I get 10 million, I'm like, all right, well, how are we gonna get 10 million in one? If you get 100 million, how about 100 million in one, right? Because it's not about the money. It's about the winning. It is about the winning. I'm just saying. Don't mind me. It says, you gotta see Pain Hustlers on Netflix. Okay, I'll check that out. I will check that out while I'm gonna watch Pain Hustlers while I'm working. All right. While I'm editing some videos and creating some thumbnails. That, like, for me, like that's when I watch TV, because I'm like sitting in front of the like, I'm like, that's how I relax. I have something on the screen and I am focused on the laptop, getting videos edited, getting thumbnails, getting like presentations made, all that good stuff, right? We don't miss, all right? Because
We the best.
nobody is coming to save you. You gotta save yourself, right? Because like, you guys know,
I'm in a bind, Nate.
Nate is not. You guys saw how you saw how Nate was. You guys saw how Nate was. We do not want that. We don't want that. All right. So let's get to our next question of the night.
Another one.
Free QA certifications that add value? What in the world are we talking about here? Let's find out. So, are there any free certifications for QA that add value to a resume? I'm currently looking to strengthen my resume for QA roles and am particularly interested in free certificates that are relevant to this field. Are there any free certs out there that are well regarded by employers and can add significant value to a resume for a QA position? I'd appreciate any recommendations, including links to courses or platforms that offer them. Thanks in advance. Well, let me start the clock on this. You know what? We are going to call in the AI bot for this one. We're gonna ask the clone, because I have an answer for this, but you're not gonna like it. So let's call in. Call again.
Hi, I'm Tech Coach Ralph. How can I help?
Hey, Tech Coach Ralph. I have a question for you. Are there any free certifications for QA that add value to a resume?
Absolutely. There are some great free certifications you can pursue to boost your QA resume. One of the most recognized is the ISTQB Foundation Level Certification. It covers the basics of software testing and is well regarded in the industry. Another option is the LinkedIn Learning courses, which often offer free trials and cover various QA topics. These certifications can help you demonstrate your knowledge and commitment to potential employers. What specific areas of QA are you most interested in?
Those certifications are not free.
I hear you. While some of the more recognized certifications like ISTQB might not be free, there are other ways to boost your resume without spending a lot. For instance, platforms like Coursera and Udemy often have sales where you can get courses for a fraction of the price. Also, contributing to open source projects and building a strong GitHub portfolio can be just as valuable. What specific skills or areas within QA are you looking to develop further?
So the problem is that I don't believe in investing in myself. So whatever I do, I want it to be free. I want it to be given to me, and I don't want to, take any accountability for what's supposed to be important to me. So what can I do?
All right, let's cut to the chase. If you want everything handed to you without putting in the effort, you're setting yourself up for failure. Success in QA or any field requires hustle, discipline, and a willingness to learn. There are free resources out there, like free code and YouTube tutorials, but you need to put in the work to gain practical knowledge. No one is going to do it for you. Now tell me, are you willing to at least start with these free resources and see where it takes you?
Well, I guess.
All right, good. Starting with free resources like Free Code Camp and YouTube tutorials is a solid move. But remember, it's not just about consuming information. You need to apply what you learn. Dive into some projects, contribute to open source, and build a portfolio. This will show potential employers that you have practical experience. Are there any specific QA tools or technologies you're curious about?
Once I get the answer, once I think about it, I'll call you back. Thank you. Bye. All right. So let's go back to full. Oops, that's not full. Let's go back to full. All right, let's go back to full. All right. So I'm going to answer. So 90% of what the clone said was true. However, right? There are no free certs that are going to add value to your resume. There are no paid searches. There are no paid certs that are going to add value to your resume. Here's the skinny, right? Is that how they say it? Here's the skinny, right? The certs, especially the QA certs, they teach you these conceptual theoretical topics, but then there is absolutely zero translation to the real world. I told you that story before when I asked the question, like, so how would you test this? And then I got all these outlandish answers, right? You know what? I'm gonna have a pop quiz for Alexis tomorrow, right? I'm gonna you're having a pop quiz tomorrow morning, coaching call, right? Just throwing that out there. But the certs, they don't add value. What adds value is practical experience. You need to find a way to actually do something to connect with someone who's building an application so that you can actually practice what you're learning. You need to see things not working, because so many times we're in this simulation where everything goes perfectly, and we're not able to see all the things that can go wrong. See, when I'm coaching people, right, everything goes wrong. I told you the other day how I found a hard-coded variable, it wasn't even a variable, it was just hard-coded in the code, and things were going crazy. I spent like 2 days looking for it. There is no certification that is going to catch that, right? So you're looking for free certifications, like you're not even willing to invest in yourself. Free certificate. What do you think this is? An opportunity economy? What in the world? No. That quote is going to age well. Wait, when this clip comes out in about 2 to 3 months, that clip, right? That quote right there is going to age well. I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying. So all I'm saying is there are no free certifications that are going to add value to your resume. The paid certifications, they add minimal value, right? So usually with these QA certifications, it's after you've been working in there, because all the job postings that I've seen for those certifications is like, a nice to have is if you get the certification in the future, but you definitely don't need it because if you don't have any experience, especially in QA, those certifications, they don't mean dilly squat.
Bruh. Congratulations, you played yourself.
But on that note, let's wrap that question up. All right, let's see what we got in the chat. Did I see your car? Did I see your car in the building? Let me see. Uh-oh. We got the king himself, Tech Pookies, in the building. What's good, your car? How are you doing this amazing Tuesday evening / afternoon for you? How's it going? And Darcel says, even the clone knows what's up. Oh, Darcel, you missed the fight that me and the clone had last week. It was wild. And Chris says, I'm having a hard time holding these gators down. Oh my God. Your car, if anyone can do it, you can do it. Let me see what else we got. Let's see. I never heard a person say that they have too much. They didn't say they had too much. They said it's enough. They said this is enough for me, right? I'll be comfortable with this. I was like, make sure there's no options around. I was like, I rebuke thee. We are not doing that. I want all the bags.
Hey. Money.
We're not doing that. Hustler's ambition. You know, sky's the limit. You know, I used to have my alarm song, "Sky's the Limit."
Hey.
I'm just saying, the sky is the limit. And you know what? Even that is not a limitation now, right? Because we could be hanging out in the International Space Center with those 2 astronauts eating up all the food of the people who are there full time. I'm just saying, all right? I'm just saying. All right. So we got, your car says, you chumps boring. I'm here now. Uh-oh. Welcome. It says restart. All right. Let's restart the show. Welcome to another episode of Tech Q&A. And like it says, let's cut to the chase. Basically, the clone said, all that. We're not doing that. You don't want to invest in yourself, then no one is going to invest in you either. I'm just, and it says, another one that wants to be me. I'm not surprised. Mitch, you should take it as a compliment. Right? What do they say? Like, imitation is the best form of flattery? Is it a pop quiz if she knows it's coming? Just saying. Alexis, let's not do that. Oh, come on, Alexis. Mitch, it's so funny. It's not me on the same side today. I'm not addressing the negativity. I'm having a great day. Your car. Is your day going as great as that call at the White House with the US investors, huh? Because that call was the ultimate, like, that call was a great call. No call greater. I'm just saying. Let's see. Oh my goodness. They're so funny. You guys are so funny. All right. Let's get to our next question. You guys are too much. Let's get to our next question of the night. But if anyone has a question they want to call in, feel free to do so. I'm going to drop the call-in link again. You guys are free to call in. But we're going to get to our next question of the night. All right. Anybody like Scrum? Anybody? I had to put this one. The investor conference with no investors actually investing in anything. That is so true. Like, all right. Let's take a pause real quick, right? Let's take a pause. I was like, I read the headline and it says White House welcomes like investors to talk about investing in the U.S. economy. I'm not really cool. Let me see what's going on here. And I'm listening, and they took 3 calls. Nobody whatsoever spoke about investing, not one bit. I was like, wait, did I click on the right? Did I click on the right stream? Did I? I was like, after the 10 minutes of people babbling about nothing, I was like,
Congratulations, you played yourself.
they got me good. They got me good. I'm just saying.
Bruh.
They got me good. They got me good this time. They got me good. I thought I was gonna hear some investment talk, and I heard absolutely nothing. All right. Anyways, let's get. I can't do this. Let's get to our next one. Let's get to our next question.
Another one.
How popular is Scrum in IT? Right. That's a great question because I love me some Scrum. It says, how popular is Scrum in IT? Companies in your country in 2023 to 2024. What percentage of companies / teams do you think are currently using Scrum? Now, the question is, start the timer. Are they using Scrum the right way, or are they just saying that they're using Scrum, but they're not really, right? Because I've heard of people in, you know what? I'm going to take that back. Right? I'm going to take that back. So what I believe is happening is that people like the idea of Scrum, and they might have a company that it's not a tech company, but they have a IT team. So let's say you're like, so I know someone who works for a car dealership. It's not a car, but they make like some software for car dealerships, something to that extent, right? But it's not a tech company where they work in the tech side of things. So although they call it Scrum, their processes are all over the place, right? So they'll have a stand, like if anybody knows Scrum, they'll have a stand up once a week where they're actually standing, but the stand was like an hour long. I'm like, what in the world? Who is doing this to you? Who hates you? Who hates you? You know how to say who hurt you? Who hates you? Who hates you? That's what I say to that, right? But I would say if it's a real tech team, then Scrum is pretty popular, right? Now, do all teams do it the right way? No. Do all teams like? And the thing with Scrum, right? The thing with Agile, it's supposed to be flexible. You're following a bunch of a set of parameters, but you need to make it work for you, right? So I would say for real tech companies, a good portion of them are going to be using either Scrum or Kanban, depending on how their workflow. If they're more of a maintenance team, they're probably going to be using Kanban. If they are a development team, they're most likely going to be using Scrum. But you can actually implement Scrum in pretty much any environment. A relative of mine, they were a manager for a large retail store, and I had them take the Scrum certification and everything like that, and they were able to implement Scrum when they were leading their team, right? Like setting up daily stand-ups for 5 to 10 minutes and implementing like goals for the day and stuff like that, right? So I think Scrum is pretty popular now. Not everybody does it the right way, but I think this is a great question to ask because you're asking for like a very open-ended question. I think we should employ the clone to get some feedback from the clone on this one, right? Because the clone can definitely answer this one very, very well. I hope. Let's find out. So let's call again.
I'm Tech Coach Ralph. How can I help?
Hey, Tech Coach Ralph. I have a question for you. How popular is Scrum in IT companies in 2023 to 2024? And what percentage of companies do you think are currently using Scrum?
Scrum has been incredibly popular in IT companies from 2023 to 2024. It's a cornerstone of agile methodologies, which many companies adopt to improve flexibility and efficiency. While exact percentages can vary, it's safe to say that a significant majority, perhaps around 70 to 80% of IT companies, have implemented Scrum or some form of agile practices. This widespread adoption reflects the industry's strong belief in Scrum's ability to enhance team collaboration, streamline processes, and deliver high-quality software. What specific challenges or questions do you have about implementing Scrum in your team?
The worry that I have is that a lot of companies or a lot of teams might be doing a rogue version of Scrum, and it might not be too conducive to the success of our team.
You're right to be concerned about rogue versions of Scrum. When teams deviate from the core principles and practices, it can lead to chaos and inefficiency. True Scrum requires discipline and adherence to its framework, including roles like Scrum Master and Product Owner, and ceremonies like daily stand ups and sprint reviews. If these elements aren't respected, you risk losing the benefits of Scrum, such as improved collaboration and iterative progress. It's crucial to ensure everyone on your team understands and commits to the proper Scrum process. How is your team currently handling Scrum practices?
Thank you. I have one last question though. Um, do I have an accent?
Accents are a funny thing. Everyone has one, and it's just a part of who we are. It's what makes our voices unique. If you're worried about how it affects your communication, focus on clarity and confidence. That's what really matters. What's driving your concern about your accent?
Well, I just want to know if I should change my accent when I'm talking to a certain demographics of people.
Accents are a part of who you are, and changing it just to fit in with certain demographics can be exhausting and inauthentic. Focus on clarity and confidence in your speech. If your message is clear and you speak with conviction, people will listen regardless of your accent. Embrace your uniqueness and let that be your strength. How is your team currently handling communication and collaboration in your projects?
Thank you. Oh my god. That was classic. That was classic. Even the clone, even the clone called it out. Even the clone called it out. All right. Enough with that. Scrum is so, and your car had a comment too. Let me see your car said large tech teams use both. Awesome. All right, cool. Let's wrap that question up. All right, let's see what the chat has to say. Let me see. Let me see. So we were talking about the investor call that had no investors or investments spoke about in it. So let me see. So it says to me, she's embarrassing herself. I don't care if she was agreed. It's the same either way. She really trying to cater to the people, to your people, man. She's trying to cater to your people. You see all the money she's getting. I know all of that not going to the campaign. Okay, thanks, wife. 54. Hey, man, don't hate the player, hate the game. All right. Let me see. We're not going back. All right. Your car, we're not going back. Your car. All right. Let me see. Says we've been back. Who they put in front of you is what they think of you. I had to borrow that. See, unlike you, Mitch, I welcome you using anything I have ever said. No credit or attribution even needed. I am open source. Whatever I said, whether it's good or not, it is all for the people, right? It is all for you. It is all for you. Let me see. You sound like Cuba, so yeah. So you code switch. Oh my goodness, Alexis. Wow, Alexis, that's painful. That's painful. Oh my goodness. It says they need to read the room after Biden totally. You guys are mean. You guys are mean. It says, or I'll probably be sounding like, oh my god, you guys are hard. You guys are hard. You guys are hard. All right. If I had feelings, they would be hurt. See, you guys just made Alexis's pop quiz that much more difficult tomorrow. Gar says code switching is okay when you're talking to the police. Yes, sir. No, sir. Thank you, sir. Oh, do you know what I pulled you over for? I was going 65 in a 45, and I am dead wrong. I deserve a ticket. I'm just saying. Oh my god. Says no code switching. So see, and this Alexis is the one that's gonna get you in trouble. She's like, she's gonna get out of the car. Why you pull me over? And we're like, ma'am, back in the car, please. Like, no, why did you pull me over? And you'd be like, back in the car. Let's not do that. All right. It says Rob probably have them glasses on when he's talking to those other people. What other people? What other people? It says no hat, call center voice, and glasses. Exactly. I don't care. Need to know where most of your stuff comes from. Me. That's a fact. That's a fact.
The best.
I just repackage what Mitch says, you know, and that's why the likes and the subs just keep on coming. And not to mention, we have the King Tech Pookie himself. So like with a team like this, you cannot go wrong. Not cool. It's just a quiz at this point. I guess you're right. Your car. I guess you're right. Says hats off and his Mr. Hi, Mr. Richard. How you doing? I can read it for you. Hi, Mr. Richard. How you doing? We need to get that code back up and running correct. Mr. Richards? Yeah, correct. Yep. Perfect. You got it. You know, let's see. You can white label as long, and that's the God's honest truth.
Money. Hey.
Hey, Mitch, we don't fumble any bags, all right? We don't miss. We don't miss. We get things done. We get things done. All right. Alrighty then, because we're not going to be out here talking about a school for the past 20 years. If we say we're going to open up a school, we will have it open by next week. All right. Alrighty then. So let's get to our next question of the night.
Another one.
Is my team too small for Scrum? Huh. It's a great question. That is a great question. Let's get to it. So, is my team too small for Scrum? I work in a team of 4 people and want to try Scrum so that we can increase productivity, accountability, and innovation. I'm essentially a product owner in theory, but I also help with development. I have 2 coworkers who would be developers and another who would be the project manager in theory and could be the Scrum master. Would this work for me to be the product owner and a developer? I want to hear your thoughts before I make the pitch to leadership. New to this concept and really excited to learn more.
Hey.
Now you're talking my language. So I think what team size I think is too small for Scrum? Guess what team size I think is too small for Scrum? A team of 0. But as long as you have one person, we'll ask Mr. Clone as well. after I give my take. But I say a team of one person is more than enough to do Scrum. All right. Why is that? Because the process of Scrum has nothing to do as much with the people as with the process, right? So, of course, the people make it up. But if you have one person where, let's say, like, if you're working yourself in 2 week sprints, and you're writing your stories, you have the feature that you're implementing, you have the acceptance criteria, all of that good stuff, then you can implement Scrum. And now that you have a process in place, as you bring people into your team, into your stratosphere, you're bringing them into a process. You're bringing them into a process, right? So setting up the process and then making accommodations as people come on. That like, and when I started the coaching group, right? When I started the coaching group, I already had my sprint process in play, and I'm like, this is what you're coming into. And as people come in and as people come out, we keep it moving. We don't miss.
We the best.
We are the best. There is no one like us. All right. So you have to understand, a team of 4 people is the team that I work on is about 4 people, right? So if you're doing the product ownership and the develop, as long as you can switch the hats, right? But you already have 2 other developers. So I think that is more than enough to be successful in Scrum. You know, and you have a project manager / Scrum master as well. It's not about the amount of people. It's about the quality of people. And if you have a team that is ready, able, and willing, then all I see for you is success. Because what is your other option? At this point, what do you have to lose? At this point, just ask yourself, what do you have to lose? What's your other option? Are you going to do the godforsaken waterfall? We're not doing that. We are not going back. See, your car, you see, I told you your car. We are not going back. We're not going back, your car. We're not going back to waterfall. We're not doing that for sure. You know, there are some things that are worth going back to, and there's something that is not worth going back to. All right. I'm just saying. You feel me? Now I'm saying. So I think that I didn't even start the clock. I did not even start the clock. All right. So let's put on. We'll wrap this one fairly quickly. But yeah, I think that there's no limit to the amount of people that you need to successfully run a Scrum team, because as you correctly said, productivity, accountability, and innovation. Those 3 things right there, even if you're doing it by yourself, you're gonna be more productive, you're gonna be more accountable, and you're gonna be more innovative, because you're going to work in bite-sized pieces. You're gonna work in small units of code, and that you're just gonna get more done. You're gonna get stuff done. All right, and that's the goal. Make sure that you have your daily stand-ups, even if it was just yourself. Have your daily stand-up. You have 4 people. Have your daily stand-up. Do your sprint reviews. Whether you're doing a 1 week sprint or a 2 week sprint, even if you're crazy, a 3 week sprint, right? If you want to live life on the wild side, you can do a 3 week sprint. But do your sprint reviews, do your sprint retrospective, and do your sprint planning. Follow the exact blueprint for you to be successful. All right. You don't want to be going 45 days without having a sprint review or a planning or a retrospective, because you don't want to hide from your team. You do not want to hide from your team. You don't want to hide from the stakeholders either. All right. So that's my deal. Let's ask the clone real quick. Let's ask the clone really quick. All right. So let's see what the clone thinks about this.
Hi, I'm Tech Coach Ralph. How can I help?
Hey, Mr. Clone. Do you think a team of 4 people is too small to implement Scrum?
A team of 4 people is not too small to implement Scrum. Scrum is flexible and can be scaled to fit the size of your team. The key roles, Scrum Master, Product Owner, and Development Team, can still be effectively filled. In fact, smaller teams can benefit from more direct communication and quicker decision making. Just make sure each role is clearly defined and that you stick to Scrum principles to avoid chaos. How's your team's current workflow?
Well, thank you. I couldn't have said it better myself. Oh wait, I did. Thank you so much, Tech Coach Ralph. You have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Well, sometimes we just happen to be on the same page, me and my clone. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? All right, let's wrap that question up. All right, let me see what these crazy kids are doing in the chat. I see a bunch of different thumbs up and stuff like that. What's going on? What is going on? So says what? Alrighty. Alrighty then. It says, was it yellow or it's always yellow. It is always yellow. All right. It's always default color, never color. I'm not trying to scare them. Exactly. See, your car knows what time it is. Figured if I do the thumbs up, it's yellow / default. Yep. That way you blend in. They can find out later if they don't already know. Oh my god. Me for sushi. It's so funny. They usually use this though. Yep. Say it again, your car. Say it again. No more. Don't go chasing waterfalls. We are not going back. We are not going back. All right. It says Ralph trying to be like Kamala now. Just saying random things, hoping it connects. Do you notice I'm also using my hands too, Mitch? Like, and that's not martial arts I'm doing right here. I'm just speaking with my hands, right? See, speaking with my hands, right? That's it. I'm just speaking with my hands. All right. So. It says, cool, too dark. Be suspicious with spa, way too dark. Working class thug, call the police. Your car, that is wrong.
Bruh.
That was wrong, your car. That is not. Take it back, your car. Take it back. That was hilarious. Oh my goodness. Sad, but true. It happens. It happens. If emojis were on job applications, everyone would be. What? Wait, your car. Wait. What about if they were on college applications, though? What would they be? What would they be on college applications? Let me see. You guys are terrible. You have some respect, guys. Have some respect. Okay. All right. Let's get to our next one. You guys are such a bad influence on me. I tell you. All right, let's get to our next question of the night. So let's do it.
Another one.
Should I quit my job? I'm a 20-year-old female. I have graduated recently from college with a bachelor's degree in legal studies. Before the job I have now, I only have worked in the food industry, fast food, and at a restaurant. Well, remember, if you want to go back, there's going to be no taxes on tips, all right? The job I have now is a legal assistant, full-time job. This is my first quote-unquote adult job. Welcome to adulthood. And I got very lucky getting it through a connection from a friend of mine. The atmosphere is nice and honestly a great law firm to work to start off with my first legal job. However, this is when it all goes downhill. I feel like my mental health is declining. I'm going to say this. I don't know how when people just first start their career at the age of 20, they already feel that their mental health is declining. I don't get it. When I first got this job, the biggest push that made me go for it was because I have a close friend who is doing amazing in her school life, and it made me feel like, what the hell am I even doing here? She pretty much said, what do I got to lose, right? So I got a job that not only pays decently, but also has to do with my degree. I thought I finally did it and felt accomplished, but now I feel like I'm spiraling because I don't think I actually want this job anymore. The people are great. However, my boss, the attorney that I'm the assistant for, kind of make me feel like crap every time I come in. I've been here for 3 months now, and I cry the night before and sometimes the morning before I have to go into work because she's going to tell me what I'm doing so wrong. I assumed that the boss was going to be a guy because you're crying at night and before you go into work. But nope, it's a lady. It's a lady. Okay. Well, I did not see that coming. She knows I'm still learning and that this is my first job, and I try not to take the way she teaches me too personally. But once she is done talking to me, I just want to crumble up and cry. Oh, Jesus Christ. Aww. I know she's going to be more direct and blunt, and I always try to take everything with a grain of salt, but it's really hard to do that sometimes. I know I'm not going to be perfect at this job whatsoever, but when she tells me to do something one way today and then next week she contradicts herself and asks me why I did it that easy. As if I'm an idiot for thinking that was correct, and I feel as though I can't say, well, that's what you told me to do. The biggest issue I have with her that drives me insane is how much she contradicts herself when telling me to do something. Like I'm just going to say real quick, right? People like to think it's contradiction when they can't see the difference in the situation, right? Remember, this is your first job. What you think might be a contradiction might actually be a teaching lesson in how to think in different situations, all right? Anyways, let me go back. Like, she told me that she wants me to organize a file in a way that makes sense to me, but then we'll look through it and ask me why the file is a mess and organized so badly. Also, as a legal assistant, I have to do billable hours, meaning the work I do needs to be billable towards a certain client because that's how law firms make their money. I'm just going to throw this in there.
Money.
And this is where I'm thankful for her. She's more patient than other attorneys would be regarding those hours, but she'll also go through them and ask, well, why did it take you so long? And I generally would think, I don't know, it just did. I'm like double and triple checking my work all the time, which is probably why I took so long. Her goal for me to get to 5 billable hours a day, but I'm barely getting to 3.5, and I don't even know why. So that's also a major stressor. When she comes in and asks me about my billable stuff, all right, so this is the last paragraph. Anyways, long story short, why couldn't you make the long story short from the very beginning? I like this job in general compared to the food jobs I've had and atmosphere. However, it's becoming so draining every day to go in and just get grilled about my work. I feel awful and like I shouldn't even be there most of the time, but I don't know what the hell I would do if I were to quit this job. I know I sound like I'm moaning about such a stupid thing, but I generally feel so tired and I'm sick. How does it sound? I'm sick and tired of being lonely and all that good stuff and feeling so inadequate every single day. Well, that was long winded enough, but we'll throw up our 5 minutes. So I think that, as Alexis said in the chat, Alexis says, girl, grow up. Where? What? Alexis, aren't you going to? That is not very nice and caring. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, Alexis. So, should you quit your job? Absolutely not. At 20 years old, I take everything as a learning opportunity and learning experience. If your boss did not care about your success, especially it being your first job, you would be out of there. They would not people who don't care about you, they do not waste their time on you. Make that a quotable. People who do not care about you will not waste their time on you. Ask your car, right? There are some stuff and some people I will refuse to comment on the things that they say. I'm like, I'm not even going near that. I don't care. Not my business. Whatever happens. I'm not even going to put a comment on there. Because to me, they're not worth it. They're not worth it, right? It's not worth my mind, my energy, my thoughts. So the fact that this lawyer, who an hour of their time is probably worth like $300 to $400, right? That they're taking their time to teach you, to bring you under their wing. You're talking about, oh, my feelings hurt. Well, guess what? They're a lawyer. So you should be appreciative that they're actually taking the time to tutor you, to bring you under their wing, so that you can actually have some sort of a career. Where do you plan on moving up, or do you want to go back? I mean, like I said earlier, there are going to be no taxes on tips, whoever wins the election, right? So do you want to go back to being in the food industry, or do you want to move up? And I think that you're, after 3 months, it's only been 3 months. You're only 20 years old. Apparently the attorney who you're assistant to cares about you. They care about you enough to teach you and to help you get it right. Now, imagine when you are a well-oiled machine, and that they don't need to be on you consistently anymore because they are training you. This is the thing, right? This transcends industries, because a lot of people, they'll take a Udemy course or they'll go to a boot camp, and then they're like, they will think that they're Mitch. They will stand up there like Superman, like, oh, I finished this boot camp and now I am ready to take on the world. And now after 3,547 and a half, don't forget that half application that you never submitted, right? And a half applications, they're like, why won't anybody contact me? Aww. And they're like applying, and nobody is responding. And they're like,
I hate it here. I want to go home.
It breaks my heart. Kind of. So my take on the whole matter is, you need to, if somebody's giving you a chance, you need to embrace that chance. And how you take, if you have to cry every night, every morning, if you have to go to the bathroom, if you have to go to the car, and cry because you have some hurt feelings, but you're giving the opportunity to learn, then go, like, watch Friday, do the little run, run to the car, sit in the little car and cry. And then you wipe those tears off, and you get back in the office and you do your job. Because if you quit now, there might not be any opportunity. And then you're going to be that first question. You're going to be asking, so how do adults make it by with low paying jobs or careers? How are they getting by? And you know what? You know how they be saying, I love that for you? I don't love that for you. by the way, I absolutely hate that saying. I like every time I hear that saying, it just makes me cringe. It makes me cringe. Like, I love that for you. I'm like, ooh, right? That's how I feel. That's how I feel about it, right? Anyway, I digress. You should not quit your job. If you have to cry in the car, if you have to cry in the bathroom, if you have to cry, you wipe those tears off and you get back to work. And then you thank your boss. You thank your boss for giving you an opportunity, for giving you a job, and for putting up with as slow as you're going, for putting up with you and for teaching you and bringing you under their wing, right? And if you think your boss is contradicting, ask questions. Don't just ask questions like, oh, so you'd be like, oh, so yesterday you told me I should do it this way, but today you're telling me doing this way. What's the difference between the two situations? They're like, oh, okay, this is the difference between situation A. This is the difference between situation B. And they're like, oh, okay, I didn't think about it like that. And that's how you learn. See, you studied legal assistant and now or legal studies, and now you're like, I want to run away from it. What if now this law firm that you're working for, this attorney that you're working for, is like, you know what? You would be a great attorney. We want to help you get through law school. Are you going to be running away from the blessings that you might have from somebody who's actually willing to take a chance on you? See, there are not many people who are willing to take a chance on you. You are getting paid to be mentored. Now you're learning about how billable timing works. You're learning all that stuff. See, this is a blessing in disguise. That's how I see it. Other people might disagree with me, but I see it as a blessing in disguise. See, people don't know what they have until it's gone. They don't know what they have until it's gone. Now you're going to be like, oh, I should have never quit that job. Because what if now you go back to the restaurant industry and the no taxes on tips? It's actually, you know what? We're not going to tax you on the first $250 that you make on tips for the year, but the rest of the $10,000 that you made on tips in the year, we want half. We want half. And if you don't put it on your paperwork, I am going to send one of my 80,000 IRS agents after you. Make that make sense. So you better embrace that legal studies, that legal assistant job, and you run it up. You run it up because we don't miss.
Let's get it. We the best.
We are the best because
They ain't believe in us.
they might not believe in us, but I believe in you and you can make it happen. All right. You can make it happen. All right. So let's get it. With that being said, let's wrap up that question. That's our last question for the night. Let's wrap that up with a nice little bow on top.
It's real simple, B. It says wrap it up.
See, there we go.
Wrap that shit up, B.
We got to wrap it up. We will read the chat and then we will get out of here. It is 9:38 Eastern time. We're going to get out of here, right? We are going to get out of here. So, Mitch says, what's that mean? No taxes on tips. So apparently people who get tips, like people who get tips, you know, so whether it's like a waitress, or maybe it's like somebody working at a casino, maybe it's who else gets tips? I don't know. Maybe you're working at a hotel, maybe it's an exotic dancer. I don't know. Maybe you get tips, right? The thing is, they said like the whole economy or whatever, like the whole tax system, they're supposed to pay taxes on their tips. So the promise is that they are going to say that people who get paid in tips, they do not have to pay taxes on their tips, so they should be able to save a lot of that money. And I heard something today on the news about that the federal government was trying to get the employers to monitor the tips and report people who aren't paying taxes on their tips. Some crazy thing like that, right? So that's what that's all about. It says it's because they are not used to working. Wow, Mitch. Just say it straight like that. No chaser, right? Mitch, no chaser. It says, let's say, like this, yep, they are not used to working. Oh my goodness. I thought I was the mean one. You guys are harsh. Out there. Oh my goodness. Oof.
Bruh.
Let's see. If that was the case, Car, I would not be answering it. Like I said, I like there are certain people that I just totally avoid. You know? And it says, sounds like how Ralph talks to me. Say it ain't so, Mitch. Say it ain't so. I do not. I do not. I would never, ever talk to you like that. All right? Never. You asked for it. You asked for it.
You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired.
You asked for it, your car. Says not worth our RAM. Nope. Nope. I just be like, exit stage left. For me, I will not be a part of this. Since I don't have enough RAM capacity to deal with the task I don't care about. It's not a you thing. It's not you. It's not you. It's me. Actually, no, it is you. It's not me. It's you. It's all you. It's all you. What else we got? Says the girl recording herself on the phone getting fired.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
No, did you see that, Mitch? Did you see the girl who recorded herself getting fired? Make that make sense. It says, like Mitch leaving, Ralph will see the value once I'm gone for good. Mitch, don't do that. Don't do that, Mitch. So I'll see you tomorrow morning, Mitch. I will see you tomorrow morning, of course. All right, appreciate it. They shouldn't have to pay taxes on tips. I agree. That's why most of them want it in cash. But the thing with it in cash, though, from my understanding, right? People who get paid in tips, they have to, like, especially in restaurants, they have to split it up with the whole team. Like, so they have to split it up with the person who cleans up the table, the person who helps them bring out the food, the person who sits them down, the person who's cooking in the back. So that's my understanding. It says he actually stole that from Vince. Did he though? Did he? Because The Apprentice was on for like 12 seasons, and I don't remember when. We have to do some research. We're gonna revisit that on Thursday because now I'm curious. I'm curious now, because if he had that as part of The Apprentice, and The Apprentice was stopped in like 2014ish, and that goes back 12 years. So that goes back to like 2002. When did Vince start saying you're fired? I don't remember. You might be right on that one though. You might be right. It says, so we come to the end of the road. We've come to the end of the road. I can't let go. It's unnatural. Okay, you got your car singing in the chat. Just don't let them. Don't tell them you getting it. I'm not splitting a $10 tip with 5 other people. It's rough out here. It is rough out here. And all right. We got my guy in the building. Says, I know I'm late, but stopping through to show some love. Oh,
I appreciate you.
My guy Rod Brown in the building, aka the one, the only, Mr. Tech Daddy himself. And since Vince used to, I remember he used to say, "You're fired." I remember that. I totally remember that. I just don't know who said it first though. But yeah, you're right. You're right about that. And Alexis says, when you've been working since early teens, you just don't have the patience for the foolishness. Alexis, do me a favor, please. When you're gonna say patience for foolishness, you have to accredit it to Mitch, right? Because he will come after you. You saw how he came after Roxy. You see how he comes after me. He comes after your car. He comes after Rod Brown. So if you don't want to catch them hands, you will have to say the patience for the foolishness, accreditation to make your citations. Put in parentheses, circa Mitch. All right, I'm just saying circa Mitch. All right, I'm just saying for all of our own safety. All right, for all of our own safety. And definitely not saying that bull. He says, y'all love. We love it over here. Because guess what, Mitch? We make tech fun. I told you guys a story, right? Somebody said, I started doing a bootcamp for software engineering, but then it just wasn't my personality. It was just too boring for me. And I'm like, what do you think we're doing over here? We are, I made my whole channel to show that tech is not boring. We are not gonna go with that. Oh, look who decided to stop by. We got my guy Sean in the building. What's going on, Sean? All right, Sean. Let's bring Sean to the front of the congregation. Sean, where have you been? How are things going? What have you been up to? I haven't heard from you in such a long time. I hope you are doing well. Please let me know. It's so good to hear from you. Let me know how you're doing, Sean.
I appreciate you.
See now, put some respect on Mitch's name. That's why I like Alexis, because she's like, we're not gonna get Mitch triggered. See, you know, there we go. All right. Let's see. It's just for your car. It doesn't
matter what you think.
And it says, Sean says, working full time and learning on the side. In that case, you are very justified for me not hearing from you for a while, because as long as you are running it up, not missing, I am 100% in support of you.
Hey.
Mitch says trigger. Anyways, we are going to wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me tonight with yours truly. I had a great time. Thank you, Mitch. Thank you, Sean, so much for stopping by. Darcel, as always, thank you. Yakar, Mr. AKA the king of the tech pookies. Thank you for coming through as always. Alexis, remember pop quiz tomorrow morning, Alexis. Pop quiz, right? And everybody, Endless Learner, Rod Brown, you guys, I appreciate you all. We are going to get out of here. We are out. So the question before we go, you guys know what it is.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
I had a great time. I am very, very well entertained. How about you? Did you guys have a good time? I had a great time. But you guys know, yesterday's price is not today's price. Today's price is not tomorrow's price. It's not, because maybe tomorrow the prices will be lower and we can actually afford to get some eggs. We will not have to go and find our own chickens to produce eggs for us. I'm just saying. But you guys know.
One more thing. Price of the brick going up.
The price of the brick is always going up because we don't miss. We don't miss. We don't fumble.
Hey.
All right. But with that being said, let me make sure there's no more chats before we wrap it up. Let me make sure there's no more chats. It says, your car says the price of air is even going up. Bruh. Ouch. You got your car. You remember the movie Top Shot? Do you remember the movie Top Shot? When they told him it's your world, and he responded, and you have to pay to live in it. I will always remember that line. That line was a classic. It says it's your world, and you have to pay to live in it. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So, Alexa says, have a good evening. Y'all got me doing a pop quiz at 6:30 a.m. It's 6:30 a.m. Yeah, you got 30 minutes. Wake up at 6, get studied up, and we're off. We are off to the races. All right. With that being said, we are out. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful evening. This is Tech Coach Ralph. We are out.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts. Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again. Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
Thank you.